Welcome student to my channel Educare Maths and Science. Today I discuss the in case of physics the laws of motion is from the class 9 actually class 9. This is for same as I.C.S.E, C.B.S.E and West Bengal board also the basic idea, the basic thing, laws of motion. You just discussed previously the motion in one dimension. In case the new chapters, the laws of motion. Actually, in case of physics, the force is a very important thing. Actually, what is actually force? That is the basic idea of the force. You just clear your concept. Just I written down here so many things for the time saving and better understanding, and then you gradually increase the numerical part and the depth of these, the laws of motion, Newton's law of motion on this. The first thing, the what is the actually the force? The if you just apply a certain effect is there. What is heat? You cannot see, but the effect of heat is the temperature. In case the rise of temperature, then decrease of heat, fall of temperature. So in case of force also is a physical thing. Say write down, a force is that a physical cause. A force is that a physical cause which changes. The very important thing is which changes or train to change either the size of an object, shape of the object, or the very important thing is in case of physics, the state of a body, which one is the rest condition, which one is the motion, it has changes by the application of this thing. That is actually a force. Suppose suppose this scale is there. Suppose a scale. If you just apply this very tightly, it's break down. That means the shape of the scale is changed. That means you apply a force. Okay, if you just, this is a block, if you apply certain thing and it's moved to this, that means this is a rest condition actually, and it's the motion. So which one you apply, that is actually called the force. Actually you just uh, see the effect of the force, that is very important. So the first one, the either the size of the object, shape of the object, change your dimension, and the very important thing, one is the rest condition. Vehicles, you have just apply something, it's motion, or a motion object, you just apply something, it's come to rest. That is actually called the basic concept of the force. This is a very important thing, the idea of the force. Okay, this is a physical cause which you change or train to change. You have to try. It may not be possible, but you have to try to train to change. Suppose a big stone, if you just push it, it's not move, but you have to try to train to change. So this, which one you apply, that is actually called the force. Okay, the basic thing. Now force is actually two types. One is the very, just I quickly revise, the contact force and the this is the non-contact force. You know, the contact force means you just touch. You just touch. Suppose it's a scale. The scale. You touch it and it's move. You touch it. So for that reason, this is a contact force. That means this one is actually you push it. Push. So that means the contact force. The contact force is the first one is the frictional force. The frictional because the surface, between the surface, two surfaces there. Suppose this one is the surface, two surfaces there. The frictional force, you just touch the surface. The frictional force, normal reaction force, very important thing is a normal reaction force. Suppose, suppose one, suppose the normal reaction force. This is a question paper copy. So certain weight is there. If you just hold it, but it stands, it's not down because the weight of this body is just downward, and your palm is actually pushed upward. So this actually called the normal reaction force, cannot be. But when is the big thing, you just cannot hold because the downward force is greater than the reaction force. If this is the balance condition, that means the weight of this body, weight of this paper is downward, and the normal reaction force that is up. The palm is upping this. So these two balance to each other. So that is a drawing here. That is a drawing. So this is suppose a plane land and the block is there. So this is the weight is downward and the normal reaction force is always the upward or the opposite to the downward force. So these actually balance. If there is unbalanced, it's out. is okay. That is called the normal reaction for each and everywhere. If you stand on the floor, you cannot hold it, but you cannot stand on the water because that the normal reaction is not same as the weight of your body. But in case of the flow, that is the other thing in the molecular and the these are molecular theory. The intermolecular attraction and solid, liquid, gas are the other thing. But the concept is the normal reaction force is the touch, and the force of tension. Here you string. Suppose this is a fixed thing, and a wire is there. If you just hang this, so the weight of this body is downward, but the string, it's a string. So this where is actually the tension is there. This hold this. That means this actually the upward and this actually the downward. So on the string, that is a tension is acting. So in this, the weight of this body and the tension on the string the same equal. Otherwise, if this is greater, so it's fall down. So these always, if you just weight and the tension are same in this two action. This is the tension on the wear, and this is the weight. So this actually called the force of tension. Collision, that is a very important thing, is the collision. Suppose two body. Suppose if this is a big body, this is a small body. Is moving this way, and is moving in this way. Is okay? Moving in this way. Suppose this is A and this is B. A collision. What is the collision? Actually, now this actually collapse. This it's move. Okay. So this called the collision. So total force is this is in case of this is FAB and this is FBA. That means the force of AB acting on these. That means force of B by A, this is AB, and the force of A on B, this is BA. Okay, so this is the thing. This is the thing. So if these two things are collision, that is the force is developed, and these two force ball is out. This is apart from here, and this is apart from here. One is very important thing. The collision. If to suppose these two. If this is the two balls, if you just collide, this collide. That means this the force is developed by this upon this, and the force is developed by this. And if this is the developed, two things are separate to each other. So this actually called the collision. So collision force. The force of collision. The force exerted. If you just push it, just moving in this way, and you push, the force is developed to this, and this is out from to separate to each other. Okay. So this is the very important thing. The different types of force. And now here is I just say here this is the either the size or the shape. Suppose change of size or shape. In which way? The example, hammering up a solid, hammering a solid is just a shape is change, size is change. Pressing a rubber, if you just press a rubber, the shape of this rubber is change. That is a shape change. That means you apply a force. That is an example, common example. So many examples are there. Change of rest on motion, you just push something, you just pull something, kick a ball, just a football, you just kick it. So you apply a force. That ball is a static condition of the rest condition, it's move. Paddle a cyclist, you just paddle a cyclist. So cycle in the rest condition, if you paddle it, that is the motion. That means you apply a force. So this is all of the physical things, each and everywhere in your society or the other things. So each and everywhere you use the force. We apply the force to work something or do something. Okay? Moving a car, applying a brake. Suppose a moving car. In which you rest condition, you apply the brake. That means a force is applied but in the opposite direction. So for that you apply a brake. So a motion body is come to rest. So that is the question. The state of rest change the state or motion. So the fixed body or the rest condition, if you push it, so rest condition, the rest is changed to the motion. When a moving car is there, if you apply a brake, the motion is come to the rest. That means which one you apply, that is the force. That is the main concept of the force. Rigid body. If you rigid body, it cannot change its shape, but it's move. Rigid body not change its dimension, but it's move. The big stone, you just apply a force. It's not break. It's not the dimension is change, but it's move, start to move. But in case of the non-rigid body, it may be the dimension is change and also it's move. also is moved. For that reason, we just write down here. Okay, this is a very important thing. And in case of the non-contact force, non-contact force, non-contact force is a very important thing. Non-contact force, that means it's not touched. Two bodies are not touched. In case, suppose a pain, suppose is here. If you just this one, if you just fall it, so what is the attraction? There is no touch. The gravitational force attract towards the center. So it's a non-contact force. Gravitational force is a non-contact force. If you just slow it, is fall down. Fall down means the certain force is attract, because the gravitational force is attract. So there is no touch, but the gravitational force attracts is fall down. In case of the electrostatics force also, in case of the charging, electrostatics force, in case of the magnet, suppose it's a magnet and it's an iron. Okay, so distance is there. This is not touch, but it's attract this, because this is the magnet and the magnetic substance. So it's not touch. But so this actually called the non-contact force. Now, one thing is very important. In case of this non-contact force, the distance is on a factor. If suppose the magnet is here and this is the magnetic substance, the attraction force is high because the distance is very short. But if you just brought, the attraction force is less because the distance is greater. So attraction force, in case of the non-contact force, the force depends on the distance, which distance you attract. Okay, and depends also the electrostatics force also. Clear? So this is the basic concept. I just given an idea of the basic concept. You know all this thing in the book, but if the basic concept is clear, now next the Newton's law of motion, the basic concept, just take introduction. Then you go to the numerical problems. If the basic concept are clear, the numerical problem will be very easier to you and easy to understand too. Okay, so this is the basic thing. Okay, so this for today. If you just understand, please share and subscribe the channel. Thank you, student. Thank you.